Cindy, are you still a housewife?
Hi, Elizabeth.
Cut the greeting. So why aren't you working? You don't have a child yet.
We've only been married for less than a year. I want to prioritize my time with Dave for a while. Dave agrees with me too.
Have you been splurging since you married?
I don't believe so.
Dave hasn't been sending me as much money as he used to. He only sends me $500 a month. He used to send me $2,000 before you two married. There's something wrong.
Living expenses change after marriage.
Even so, there's definitely a reason he only sends me this much money. When I asked him about it, all he said was, "This is the best I can do." He hasn't even been responding to me lately.
Well, he is a busy man.
I can't live on only $500 a month. Make sure to tell Dave. You can tell him if you're not the one who's spending all his money, right?
Dave and I are married now. We need to save money for our future. He can't send you more than $500 a month.
You have a smart mouth, don't you? Did you tell him to reduce my allowance?
No, we decided the amount of your allowance together.
You're going to keep all his money to yourself, aren't you? I mean, you are a housewife. You live in a nice apartment and Dave gives you enough money for living expenses. Unlike me, a single woman, you don't need so much money.
Like I said, we need to save money for our future. We need to save money for our future. I'm not splurging
Oh,
or anything.
really? Haven't you been getting on a high horse after marrying my son and becoming wealthy? My son is an elite businessman. Whereas you were just a part-time worker who didn't even go to college.
Save money every month. I'm not wasting any money.
If so, can't you send me more? I hate to tell you this, but he managed to get a job at a big corporation because I paid his college tuition. He grew up to be an elite businessman because of me.
I'm sure you played a big role in his success. But I know that he's also worked hard to get to where he is now.
He was able to do well because of me, right? Besides, I don't accept you as his wife. I only allowed your marriage because he said he wouldn't marry anyone else. You know that, don't you?
I do. That is why I have been trying hard to gain your acceptance.
How are you trying hard? You reduced my allowance like you want me to.
I am willing to support Dave as best as I can. I believe that's my role as his wife.
Do you think that's your only responsibility? You're Dave's wife and my daughter-in-law. Talk to him about my allowance again, or I will have second thought. I checked my allowance. You know why I'm texting you, right?
To tell me the amount didn't go up?
If you knew, why didn't you send me more money?
I did not forget. But I need you to understand that we have our own lives.
Are you saying you don't care about my life?
I believe you receive your pension. You also have an inheritance from your husband.
The inheritance from my husband is too little to live on. That's why I've been asking Dave for an allowance. I have to lower my standard of living if he only gives me 1/4 of the allowance he used to.
I feel like you've been spending too much money. Dave told me you used to go on a trip every month. Isn't that what you call splurging?
I should be allowed to go on a trip once a month. Do you want to take away the last shred of my happiness?
You have your own house. I'm sure you can go on a trip every few months if you cut expenses every month. Could you please at least try to reflect on your living expenses?
I've tried, and it's still not enough. That's why I've been telling you to send me more money. I really can't get through to you. If Dave can't send me more money, you should work. You said it was your role to support Dave. But it doesn't seem like you're doing your job.
Why don't you get a part-time job, then? You're healthy enough to go on a trip every month, aren't you?
Are you going to make your elderly mother-in-law work? What a horrible daughter-in-law you are. Who do you think you are, telling me what to do? You were just a part-time worker with no college degree.
Does your extravagance have anything to do with the fact that I used to be a part-time worker?
I'm done with you. I'll talk to Dave. I can't get through to a parasite that leeches off my elite son.
Dave said no more discussion was needed about your allowance.
You can't persuade me. I will go to your apartment next weekend.
There's nothing we can do even if you come here.
I'm coming anyway. Make sure you have the rest of my allowance ready. I will not leave your apartment until you give me my money. Hey, Cindy, did you really move out of your apartment?
Yes, it was hilarious that you actually went there.
Who do you think you are laughing at me? I told you I would go to your apartment.
I told you, there was nothing I could do, even if you did.
I also found out something. Why does Dave get only $200 of pocket money a month? He is a highly paid elite. I was right. Dave couldn't send me more money because of your extravagance.
Elizabeth, there is something else you should know. Dave's monthly salary is $700. He is not highly paid.
Huh? What are you talking about? Dave works for a big company. There's no way he only earns $700 a month.
He quit his job soon after we married.
He quit his job after marriage? Then how do you two make a living? The monthly rent of your old apartment was over $1,000, wasn't it?
I've been providing for us.
I've had enough of your bullcrap. How can you provide? You quit your part-time job. Oh, I see. Are you Breaking Bad?
No, I've been working at home. I was working at a restaurant at the time I met Dave. Because an acquaintance needed a hand. I worked my main job at home.
I don't believe you. First of all, Dave would never quit his job at a big company. Plus, he didn't tell me anything about it.
He was afraid to tell you. He was also stressed.
What?
Whenever he did something you didn't approve of, he would complain about it endlessly. He quit his job because of mental health issues. That's why I've been talking to you instead of him. Talking to you would have been a burden on him.
Talking to me would be a burden on him? I am his mother. I raised him into a first-class elite businessman. He owes me.
You exploited his vulnerability and taken money from him. He made an effort and studied hard to get into the top university and get a good job. He told me he paid his tuition with a scholarship and the money he earned working part-time jobs. You shouldn't take all the credit.
He grew up to be a successful man because I'm his mother.
I don't like judging people based on if they're successful or not. Dave seemed like a successful man to you, but his mental state was broken. He was mentally ill. He looks way happier now that he works a part-time job and does the housework.
My son is working a part-time job?
Yes, that's why his monthly salary is $700. He keeps $200 for himself and sends you $500. See? It adds up.
It can't be. My son earns only $700 a month? Stop joking.
I'm not joking.
I can't believe that you provide for the family. Or that Dave quit his job because of mental illness and is working a part-time job. I can't believe any of this. You made it all up just to avoid sending me money.
I told you the truth. Dave has been feeling better lately, so I decided to tell you everything.
Back off, you psycho! Just let me talk to Dave.
I thought you texted me first.
Don't trip me up. Let me talk to my son.
Dave and I decided not to be involved with you ever again, so you will never see him.
Huh?
We won't send you any money anymore. We won't help you again. We finally made the decision together and Dave made up his mind. Please, leave him alone.
You're not sending me money anymore? That's unacceptable. I won't let you have your way. I will have my son back. Prepare yourself for a divorce and regret what you've done. Cindy, I'm waiting for your reply. Please, I have something to tell you. This will be the last time, so please listen to me.
Yes?
Oh, good. Dave didn't pick up my call, so I thought you wouldn't reply to me either. Thank you for replying to me.
I will change my number soon.
I don't know if that's necessary.
I don't like that you know my number. So, what did you want to tell me?
Cindy, I'm sorry for everything. I contacted you to apologize.
What happened? Your attitude is different compared to yesterday.
I just called the company Dave used to work for. They told me he quit a few months ago.
I see.
I realized that you were telling me the truth. I'm sorry I said hurtful things to you. I didn't know that you've been supporting Dave.
That's okay. I wasn't expecting your apology. I won't ask you for more than to reflect on yourself from now on.
About my allowance. Are you really not going to send me money from next month?
No?
Can you please think about it again? $500 is enough.
Did you really reflect on yourself? You receive enough pension to make a living, don't you?
To be honest, I borrowed some money from loan sharks. So I can't live on my pension.
And you had an inheritance from your husband. This is all you're doing.
You're right, but please give me allowances for 3 more years.
I'm sure you can earn $500 every month if you work.
My back and knees have been getting weak lately. I have trouble going outside.
You went to our old apartment just yesterday, didn't you?
I got a cab.
That's why you can't save money.
I won't get a cab as much as possible. I will also cut expenses. So would you please continue to send me money?
Dave has already given you enough money. He was sending you so much money every month that he couldn't save money for himself.
But you know his salary was high until he quit his job. He was an elite businessman.
You call him an elite businessman, but he was just an employee. He wasn't paid as highly as you thought he was. You used to ask him for money besides your allowances, didn't you?
I will apologize to Dave too.
Dave says he doesn't want to talk to you, so that's unnecessary. All we want is not to get involved with you again.
Please, Cindy. Please, give me one more chance.
We gave you a chance. Dave had been sending you money for a long time. I told you to reflect on your living expenses. I did what I could for you to make a change.
I used to think you were splurging. So I didn't listen to you, and
Oh yeah, you called me a parasite.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for hurting you and Dave. I will never do it again. So please, don't stop sending me money for a while.
It's too late now. As it turns out, you're the one leeching off Dave. Stay out of our lives and regret what you've done for the rest of your life. I can't get through to a parasite that leeches off my husband. I haven't been in touch with my mother-in-law since then. To be more precise, she doesn't have the means to contact me since I changed my number. My husband and I are relieved to have finally broken off relations with her. My mother-in-law's words tortured my husband. Growing up, he had a harshly disciplined upbringing and was pressured to work for a big company. Since he became an adult, his mother had taken all the credit for his success and exploited him. He wanted to break off relations with her for a while, but it was difficult to get over the brainwashing he had had since childhood. Since he had mental health issues caused by work and started receiving counseling sessions, he started to recover and wanted to face the issues with his mother. He managed to tell her everything and broke off relations with her. He is finally free from her. It is clear that my mother-in-law will be in financial difficulties, but she is the one to blame. The place my husband and I moved to has no relation to her whatsoever. My husband quit his part-time job upon moving and has been helping me work from home. He also does the housework. He couldn't even do the chores when he was ill, so I'm very happy about his recovery. We will keep on supporting each other and build a happy family.